Good morning, dear students. Happy Guru Purnima to all of you. Today we are going to explain our next topic, that is corrosion, and it is very important topic from our NCERT syllabus. So let's start our topic. So you are watching our Chemistry Paathshala YouTube channel. So corrosion. So what is the corrosion? To know the corrosion, we must know the simple definition of corrosion. So what are the corrosion? Whenever any metals maybe more more reactive metals, uh, when they exposed to atmospheric conditions, and the atmospheric conditions may be when the metal surface comes in contact with air and water and moisture, then their upper surface form a undesirable compound, means unwanted compound they form on their surface of the metals, and this process is called corrosion. This is the simple way to explain the corrosion. Almost all metals corrode, but the metals which are very reactive corrode more, and the metals which are least active, for example aurum. Aurum is least active, so it does not corrode. Similarly, platinum do not corrode because they are not active metals. So active metals like iron, copper, aluminum, silver, all are corrode. Means these are the simple examples. Silver tarnish. Tarnishes means the shining surface of silver fades away after some time when silver is exposed to air and moisture and water. Similarly, we see copper utensils in our home. After sometimes, when we expose the copper utensils in uh, the environment, then a greenish layer developed on the surface of copper. It is also a corrosion of copper. Similarly, corrosion of iron means rusting of iron. In case of iron, corrosion is called rusting. So whenever we talk about the corrosion of iron, this means we are talking about the rusting of iron. So it is very important topic in our syllabus. So in this chapter, we will discuss the factors that affect the corrosion, uh, and the chemical reactions behind the corrosion. How corrosions take place whenever a iron article exposed to the air. So it is the definition of corrosion. And what is the definition? The process of slowly eating away of the metal due to attack of atmospheric gases. And the atmospheric gases may be carbon dioxide gas, and carbon dioxide gas is slightly acidic in nature. Similarly, water vapors is also responsible for corrosion, and oxygen. These are the gases which are responsible for corrosion. Then the surface of the metal resulting in the formation of compound like oxides, sulfides, carbonate, etc. It called it is called corrosion. Means in the case of iron oxides are formed. Iron oxides are formed. In the case of in the case of copper, carbonates carbonates are formed. So which the compound, which type of layer will be formed in corrosion, it depends on the nature of metal. So next point we have to discuss, that is mechanism of corrosion. How corrosion start on the surface of metal when the metals come in the contact with air, moisture, water vapors, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. So the theory of corrosion, to understand the theory of corrosion, we must know about electrochemical cell. And we have discussed very well what is the electrochemical cell. we must know about electrochemical cell. So in corrosion, a number of electrochemical cells are developed on the surface of iron. In this chapter, the corrosion of iron we have to study means rusting of iron only. So in the in the surface at the surface of iron, a number of electrochemical cells are developed. And how the number of electrochemical cells are developed, these are the some points which explain the formation of electrochemical cell on iron surface. So the theory of the corrosion can be explained by taking the rusting of iron. It is in our syllabus. Rusting of iron means corrosion of iron. It is also called electrochemical theory. Why it is called electrochemical theory? As I uh, told you that in rusting of iron, a number of electrochemical cells are formed. A number of electrochemical cells are formed. Means very little, very tiny electrochemical cells are formed on the surface of iron. And how the electrochemical cells are formed? We have to uh, see this diagram. And this is the surface of iron. This is iron surface, and these are the bends. These are the bends, or these are the cracks, or these are the pits of iron. Pits of iron means inner the surface which is not a plane surface. Means pit means there is a uh, this, um, this type of structure on the surface of iron. So this is the pit of iron, or we can if there is bend on the surface of iron, if there is cut portion, if there is cut portion on the iron, and if there is a bend, or if there is a pit in the iron, then the rusting take place at that place very quickly. So how this process happen? This is the iron piece. See, this is the iron piece, and this is the pit of the iron. And the chemical reactions that we have to keep in our mind, that the number of electrochemical cells are formed. And we know very well that in electrochemical cells there are two electrodes. First electrode is anode, and another electrode is cathode. We know this very well, anode and cathode. So we know at anode we know very well, dear student, lone. In electrochemical cell, this point we have to keep in our mind, lone. So what is the meaning of lone? Left oxidation, anode and negative. So left part of the electrochemical cells, oxidation take place, and it will be negative portion, and it is called anodic part of the electrochemical cell. So whenever rusting or corrosion take place in the iron article or iron piece, first anode is formed. So how anode is formed? When air means we can consider air means oxygen, water vapors. When they attack on the iron surface, then uh, anode, anode and cathode terminals, or anode or cathode uh, electrodes are formed on the surface of iron. So how it is happen? This is the drop of moisture or drop of water. This is the drop of water, and this is the air, and air, in the air oxygen is present. So what happen? This is the first method. Whenever moisture attack on the surface of iron, this iron surface, what iron surface do? It form, it act as a anode. It acts at a as a anode. And we know very well, in anodes are the portion of the electrochemical cell where oxidation take place. Where oxidation take place means iron donate electrons and convert into Fe 2 plus. Iron convert into ferrous ion. This is the oxidation of iron, and oxidation of iron means uh, releasing of electrons by a element. Whenever element release electrons, oxidation take place. So it first portion of the electrochemical cells formation, whenever rustings take place on the iron surface, small electrochemical cells are formed. The first method, The drop of moisture attack to the iron surface. First anodic portion will form, and how anodic portion will form? The iron atoms of the iron article. Iron atoms of the iron article. It is a iron article, and iron atoms are present in the iron article or iron substance. Then what happen? The iron release two electron and convert into ferrous ion. So to balance this equation or to complete the equation, suppose two iron two iron atoms release electrons, so the number of electrons will be 4. The number of electrons will be 4 electrons. The 4 electron will be donated by the two atoms of iron, and 2 Fe plus 2 ions are formed, and this part act as a anode for the electrochemical cell. Next, these 4 electrons, what they do? 4 electrons, they passes through the iron articles and reach at another surface, at another portion they reach through the metal. These 4 electrons move another part of the iron, and what they do? They form cathodic portion of the electrochemical cell. And how they form electrochemical cell at cathode, at as a cathodic portion? uh, we know, during the during the corrosion process, the oxygen presence in the atmosphere react with 4 electrons. These 4 electrons and these 4H comes with the carbonic acid. And how carbonic acids are formed, we will discuss in this video lecture itself. So 4H plus react with 4 electrons, so the charge will cancel out, and oxygen react with hydrogen and form water. It is a cathodic electrode. Anode and cathodes are formed, then the reactions take place. So the whole chemical reactions are divided into 5 steps. These 5 steps we have to keep in remember. Then we easily understand the corrosion process of the iron article. How iron articles corrode, we will explain in only 5 steps. So first step is formation of carbonic acid. So how carbonic acid form? You know, whenever corrosion take place in the presence of moisture and oxygen. So moisture means water molecules, and carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere. Then the carbon dioxide gas and water vapors react each other and form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, the formula of carbonic acid is H2CO3. H2CO3 is a formula of carbonic acid, and the nature of CO2 is mild acidic. It is a mild acidic in nature. It is a gas, but it is acidic in nature. So carbon dioxide gas react with water molecules and form carbonic acid, and this carbonic acid dissociate in H plus and CO3 carbonate ion in this manner, because the carbonic acid is a mild acid, is a very weak acid. So it can dissociate in the form of 2H plus CO3 2 minus. So here the carbonic acid act as a electrolyte for the electrochemical cell. We know, dear student, in electrochemical cells there are two terminal, and two terminal, or we can say two electrode, and two electrodes are anode electrodes and cathode. And anode is that portion of the electrochemical cell where oxidation take place, and cathode of the electrochemical cell is that terminal where reduction take place. So, in the formation of electrochemical cell, the carbonic acids act as a electrolytic solution. Means the carbonic acids dissociate to small extent as follow. We have also explained here. By this manner, this dissociate. Next portion, this is the second step. The second step, we have to consider step 1 and step 2 only. In step 1 is our step 1. In step 1, what happen? Only hydrogen gas react with carbon dioxide gas present in the atmosphere and form carbonic acid. H2CO3 is a carbonic acid, dear student, and this carbonic acid is a mild acid. So this carbonic acid dissociate into H plus ion and CO3 2 minus, and it is act a electrolytic solution for the electrochemical cells that are formed. A number of electrochemical cells are formed on the surface of iron. Third, this is our second point, iron in contact with dilute, dissolve oxygen gas and presence of H plus ion undergo oxidation. So how oxidations form, we have discussed earlier. That means the iron atoms release two electrons. Each iron atom release two electrons. So to balance the chemical equation, we take two iron atoms. So two iron atoms release four electrons, and it is a anodic electrode of the electrochemical cell. It form anode and we know at anode oxidation take place, and anode is negative portion of the electrochemical cell, and it is the E naught of oxidation. E naught oxidation means oxidation potential of anodic cell, and oxidation potential comes 0.44 volt. The equation number 3. Next step, formation of cathodic electrode. So how cathodic electrode form? It is a anodic, it will act as a anodic portion. Next, these electrons travel in the iron article itself. They, as we have discussed in this diagram, these four electrons travel in the iron article itself and comes in contact with oxygen. These four electrons comes in contact with oxygen and also 4H plus. These 4H plus comes from dissociation of carbonic acid. This is the carbonic acid, and the carbonic acid dissociate into 2H plus and CO3 2 minus. So consider that 4H plus are reacting with water. To balance, we take here 4H plus, and H plus comes by the dissociation of carbonic acid, and these four electrons comes from the iron, from the anodic portion. And cathode is positive portion. We know cathode is positive and anode is negative. So at positive terminal, negative electron, the negative portion, negative subparticle of atoms comes towards the cathode, and the reactions happen in this manner. Oxygen react with 4H plus, and these negative charge and this positive charge will cancel each other. So both the charge will cancel each other. So oxygen react with 4H and to form water molecule. It acts at a cathode terminal or cathode electrode of the electrochemical cell, and electrode reduction potential of cathodic cell is 1.23 volt, and let it gives the equation number 4. Now what we do, this side acts as it is a cathode and this side act as a anode, we have discussed earlier. Now what we do, we will add the equation number 3 and 4. So when we add the equation number 3 and 4, we get the final equation. The equation number 3 is this one and equation number 4 is this one. So when we add both the reaction, see, I'm writing again, this is the Fe, uh, donate 2 electron, the convert into Fe 2 plus, and 4 electrons released in this reaction. It is a anodic portion. And at cathode, what happen? Oxygen react with the 4H plus. These 4H plus comes from the dissociation of carbonic acid, and these 4 electrons comes from the anodic portion. Then the reaction will be 2H2O. Okay, it acts as a cathode, is act as a anode. Now when we add this equation, then 4H plus 4 electron and 4 electron will cancel out. Then At left hand side we get Fe, and the total number of Fe are 2. So we write here 2 plus oxygen plus 4H plus. This is the left hand side portion. Okay, dear student, Fe, Fe, oxygen plus 4H plus we write in left hand side and put the arrow then right in right hand side portion. So in right hand side Fe 2 plus is the 2 plus 2 H2O. This is the overall cell reaction. It is a overall cell reaction. So I hope this chemical reactions is uh, clear to all of you.